Hey everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at Takara's Transformers Movie Advanced Dispenser figure. Now, Dispenser does not come from the upcoming Age of Extinction movie. He actually hails from the original 2007 live-action Transformers movie. In it, there was a sequence when the Allspark started going nuts and infusing everything mechanical with some kind of sentient life, and there was a soda machine outside a 7-Eleven or something that was affected. It transformed into this robot looking monster and started going nuts and launching cans of soda at anything that moved. And that was one of the coolest things about that character, because the cans of soda he was stocked with became his weapons, and I thought that was awesome. Like, I wanted a figure of that character immediately. But Hasbro and Takara never gave us a proper dispenser figure back in 2007. We got a little Robot Heroes figure, but that wasn't quite the same. It was neat, and it was neat for that line, but we never got a proper deluxe class dispenser figure. So, all these years later, in 2014, Takara has finally seen fit to give us a dispenser. But he's not quite a soda machine. What he is a repaint of another figure from 2007. The figure was called Payload, and he was a Decepticon drone from one of the video games, basically. And he, neat enough figure at the time, but what we're getting now is a repaint of that kind of armored truck that he was. And he's meant to resemble a soda delivery truck. The design is obviously based on Mountain Dew. There's no mistaking that, the color and the look of the logo. But it looks like one kind of serious soda delivery truck. And to rectify the fact that he's not a soda machine, what they did was give us a couple stickers on the top of the truck that make him kind of look like a soda machine. So if you wanted, you could prop him up somehow. He doesn't really want to stay up on his own, unless you have him leaning over like that, but that kind of sucks. So prop him up somehow, and it looks like he's in scale with a 3 3/4 inch figures. So we could have, I don't know, Longshot, for example, be all like, "Oh, hey, I'm thirsty. Maybe I'll get myself a Mountain Dew. Oh no, this thing's coming alive. It's going nuts. I better get out of here." See a Longshot. So to turn this guy into the psycho killer robot he was in the movie, we can do the following. We can flip open the top, and that reveals a whole lot of robot. Next, we can, free his, what will become his arms. And there's a peg here that pegs right into his shoulders, the wheel at his shoulders. Do the same thing on the other side. Free that. Peg that in and flip it around. Next we can flip this portion out. These will become his legs. Flip around, turn these two little tabs in, separate them, and flip up his feet. These panels here should also flip down. Flip that around, flip that around. Okay, and then we can twist that around, bring his legs to the front. And then this portion right here should kind of, with a good push that in, flip it up. And that basically gives us his robot mode, almost totally. All we've got to do now is take these back panels here, flip them around, and there's a peg right here that goes into that hole. Do the same thing over here. And these panels just kind of flop around. They don't really stay in very securely at all, but that's okay. They don't really get in the way. And then to reveal his hands, we can open up these panels on his forearms and flip his hands out. Okay. So that is basically Dispenser in his robot mode. And it is a pretty cool looking robot mode. It does resemble what he looked like in the movie. His head sculpt is pretty awesome. Let's see if we can get a close-up of it here. Might have to adjust the light a little bit because there is some shadow here, but you can see he definitely looks like he did in the movie. He's got that psychotic Decepticon look all the movie Decepticons had in that first movie. So he is definitely in keeping with that fine tradition. But I think he looks pretty great. Now, his weapon, his only accessory, is kind of like this soda can cannon. And to attach that, we can flip one of his arms or one of his hands in, and then there's a peg right here that just attaches to. And that gives us his soda can cannon. So he can be all like, fa-chonk, fa-chonk. Like maybe if Longshot came up again, I still want my soda, too bad, fa-chonk. Longshot's wasted, not so lucky today. And I'm actually having some luck getting him standing, which I'm really kind of impressed with right now, because if you'll notice, when I turn him to the side, he's got this huge contraption sticking out of his back. This huge mechanism that really makes him kind of a pain to stand and to fit into a shelf display because he takes up so much room. And that thing is related to an action feature that payload figure used. If you push in on it, it activates this claw thing from the front. Like maybe he sees Longshot, Longshot's trying to get away, and he goes, "You're mine!" Grabby. He gets all grabby with Longshot. And Longshot's, "No, I'm lucky!" So he manages to escape. But it just kind of does that. It's like one of those claw things when you have something that's out of reach and you're trying to get it. And it does just flip back in. But that's what it is. There's no hiding this anywhere or doing anything with it. It's there to stay. So you just kind of have to deal with it if you're going to have Dispenser in your collection. Kind of unfortunate, but not horrible. Now, to get him back in his robot mode or his truck mode, we can just do the following. Detach his cannon. Flip his other hand up and in. Flip that up. Flip that up. And flip his feet around. And spin them at the waist. And those two halves of the truck cab should fit together like that. Okay? And then those two panels flip down. And then, this is where it gets a little bit sticky. These things have to go behind the grill, and it's kind of tricky to do that. So I like to push them in a little bit, and push that down, and then straighten them out. And there we go. And then we can detach his arms from his shoulders, spin them around a little bit, and fit them up. In theory, fit them. Yeah, those little panel things are getting in the way. There we go. There we go. It's a little fiddly. It's not horrible, but it's definitely somewhat fiddly. There we go. So we have most of the truck all together already. So we just have to worry about the back portion. We can pull that out. It should snap right out. And then we've got to fold in. And this gets a little tricky here because his head doesn't give us a lot of clearance. There we go. And then we've got to peg all this stuff together. This stuff is all very loose and it never really wants to cooperate. But it looks like we're having... Nope, of course not. I thought we were going to have some luck because we got Longshot here, but not quite. Fiddly, 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 and then some. Okay. Now everything should snap together. Hey, we did have some luck. That was really easy. Usually it's not quite that easy. Okay, and there's his truck mode once again. Okay, and then if we want to attach his weapon to his truck mode, we can. There's a peg here, and there's one on the other side too. And it just kind of goes like that. So he can go flying down the city streets, mowing people down with cans of soda. Or maybe people are catching them and getting refreshed. So maybe he's actually a good guy, even though he has the Decepticon logo. But that's Dispenser from the movie Advance line by Takara. This is an import figure, so it's a little bit more expensive than the typical retail level deluxe. And I always forget that these movie figures are quite popular. I always assume they're just going to sit around. So when he and the others went up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store and Anime Export and wherever else, They sold out pretty quick, and I was a little disappointed because I totally missed them because I was dragging my feet, assuming I'd have plenty of time to grab them. So I was browsing Amazon one night, and he happened to be in stock with Prime shipping, so I snagged him, and I'm glad I did. Dispenser was a character I've wanted since 2007. I mean, he's a novelty character. He's not like an important character by any means. He's definitely a novelty, but I really like him, and I'm glad I have him, even with that huge mechanism attached to his back that makes him kind of a pain. I do recommend him, so if you can pick him up, go ahead and do so. And something else that I noticed here, I noticed the greens on his truck don't quite match up. It looks like his cab is a different color. In person, there's no difference at all. The green is all consistent, but for some reason here, it's looking like there's different colors involved. I don't know why that is. It must be something with my camera's white balance or something. Anyway, that's Dispenser. Thanks for checking us out here on the Foosh, and I will see you next time.